Have you ever ignored a sign that could have saved your life? Take a moment to think about this. Really let it sink in. Have you ever had one of those odd moments, a pang in your chest, a wave of dizziness, or a fatigue so deep you couldn't explain it and brushed it off with a casual, "Oh, it's nothing. I'll be fine tomorrow"? Maybe you told yourself you were just stressed, overworked, or maybe even getting a little older. But what if that fleeting sensation wasn't just your body acting quirky? What if it was something far more serious, a desperate signal, a warning? Flare shot into the sky, pleading with you to pay attention before it's too late? Doctors see this every day, patients strolling into the emergency room expecting a quick fix for what they assume is a minor inconvenience, only to discover they were teetering on the edge of catastrophe. Some were mere minutes away from a heart attack, a stroke, or worse. The human body, incredible as it is, has an uncanny way of tipping you off when something's wrong, long before disaster crashes down. The trick lies in recognizing those signals, and, even more crucially, not dismissing them as insignificant. In this deep dive, we're going to unpack 6 critical warning signs that could mean your body is running out of time. These aren't just random aches or fleeting discomforts, they're potential red flags, cries for help from within. At first glance, they might seem minor, easy to shrug off, but if you or someone you love experiences them, they could be the difference between catching a problem early and facing a life-altering or life-ending consequence. Stay with me through this journey. It might just save your life, or the life of someone you care about. Unexplained extreme fatigue. Let's start with something we've all felt at some point. Tiredness. Life is exhausting. Long work days, endless to-do lists, not enough hours of sleep. It's normal to feel worn out sometimes, right? But what I'm talking about here isn't your garden variety, I need a coffee, tiredness. This is a bone-deep, soul-crushing exhaustion that hits you out of nowhere and doesn't let up. It's the kind of fatigue where you wake up after 8 solid hours of sleep and still feel like you've been hit by a truck, or like you just ran a marathon in your dreams. Picture this. You're trying to get through your morning routine, but simply walking from your bedroom to the kitchen feels like climbing a mountain. Getting dressed? Forget it. Tying your shoes feels like an Olympic event. Holding a conversation? Your brain's too foggy to keep up. This isn't just "I had a rough week, tired." This is "I don't know why I can barely move, tired." And it's not normal. So what's going on? Extreme, unexplained fatigue can be your body waving a giant red flag, signaling something sinister beneath the surface. It's often an early whisper of heart disease, where your heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, leaving you drained. It could hint at kidney failure, where toxins build up in your system because your kidneys can't filter them out. Even scarier, it might point to cancer, as your body diverts energy to fight rogue cells, sapping your strength in the process. This symptom is sneaky because it often creeps up slowly. You might chalk it up to aging. "I'm not 20 anymore, I guess. This is just how it is," or convince yourself you're just overworked. But here's the kicker. Many people who've survived heart attacks or caught cancer early later admit they felt this overwhelming exhaustion for weeks, even months beforehand. They ignored it, thinking it'd pass. Don't make that mistake. If your energy levels plummet without reason and stay low, get it checked. It's not about being dramatic, it's about being alive. Sudden and severe. Chest pain or pressure now. Let's shift gears to something more immediate, more visceral. Imagine you're relaxing at home, maybe scrolling through your phone, watching TV, or sipping a cup of tea, when out of nowhere a sensation hits you like a ton of bricks. Your chest tightens, squeezes, or feels like an elephant's sitting on it. The discomfort might radiate, creeping into your left arm, neck, jaw, or back. You might break out in a cold sweat, your palms clammy, your breath shallow, your heart's racing, or maybe you feel faintly sick to your stomach. What's your first thought? If you're like most people, you might think, "It's just indigestion. I ate something weird. Maybe I pulled a muscle lifting that box yesterday. You tell yourself to lie down, drink some water, wait it out. But here's the brutal truth. That hesitation could be the last decision you ever make. Sudden severe chest pain or pressure is a classic hallmark of a heart attack, a blockage in your arteries starving your heart of oxygen. It could also signal an aortic dissection, where the main artery from your heart tears, a ticking time bomb that kills fast if untreated. These aren't conditions that politely wait for you to feel better. They demand action, and they demand it now. Heart disease remains the world's leading killer, and chest pain is its loudest alarm bell. But here's where it gets tricky. Not everyone experiences the Hollywood-style, clutch your chest and collapse, heart attack. Some feel only mild discomfort, like a nagging tightness, or even nausea, dizziness, or fatigue instead of outright pain. Women in particular often report subtler signs, like shortness of breath or a vague unease rather than crushing agony. If this happens to you, don't second-guess it. Don't lie down and hope it fades. Call emergency services, 911, 999, whatever. Your local number is immediately. Every minute you delay slashes your odds of survival. Speed is your lifeline. Shortness of breath for no reason. Next up, let's talk about breathing, or rather, the sudden inability to do it comfortably. Imagine you're sitting on your couch, not exercising, not running around, just chilling, when all of a sudden, you feel like you can't get enough air. Your lungs feel tight, your breath's shallow, like you're trying to suck oxygen through a straw. Maybe it hits when you lie down, or maybe you wake up gasping in the middle of the night, clutching your chest in panic. This isn't normal. It's not, I'm out of shape, or I'm just anxious. It's a warning. Sudden, unexplained. Shortness of breath can point to a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot lodging in your lungs, choking off blood flow and making every breath a struggle. It might signal heart failure, where your heart can't pump enough blood to keep your lungs working properly. It could even be a silent heart attack, quietly damaging your heart muscle without the dramatic chest pain. Pulmonary embolisms, in particular, are terrifyingly common, yet overlooked. They often strike after prolonged immobility, like sitting on a long flight or recovering from surgery in bed. People brush it off, thinking, I'm just winded, I'll be fine, until they're not. If this symptom comes with leg swelling, chest pain, or a rapid pulse, it's even more urgent. Here's the bottom line. If you're fighting for air without a clear reason, especially if it's new or worsening, don't wait. Get to a doctor or an ER stat. Your lungs are screaming for help, and ignoring them could cost you everything. Drastic, unexplained weight loss. Okay, let's pivot to something that might sound like a dream at first. Losing weight without even trying. You're not dieting, not hitting the gym, not cutting carbs, yet the pounds are melting away. Your jeans are looser, your belt's on a tighter notch, and people keep asking, wow, have you been working out? It feels like a win until you realize it might be your body in survival mode. Unintentional weight loss can be a glaring sign of trouble. It might mean cancer, where tumors hijack your energy and nutrients, shrinking you from the inside out. It could point to diabetes, where your body can't process sugar properly and starts burning fat and muscle instead. Or it might be a thyroid, gone haywire, revving your metabolism into overdrive and torching calories at an unnatural pace. Other culprits? Digestive issues, like Crohn's disease or celiac disease, that stop your body from absorbing nutrients or even infections silently, draining your reserves. The common thread? Your body's burning through its energy stores faster than it can replenish them, often because something's seriously wrong. If you've dropped 5 to 10% of your body weight in a few months without effort, say 10 pounds if you're 200 or 7 if you're 150, don't celebrate yet. Get it checked. It's not about vanity. It's about catching a potential killer before it catches you. Confusion, disorientation, or sudden personality changes. Now, let's move upstairs, to your brain. Imagine this. One day everything's fine, and the next you're forgetting. Basic things. Where did you park your car? How do you get home from the grocery store you've shopped at for years? Or maybe it's not you. Maybe it's your spouse or parent suddenly acting strange, snappy, or lost in a fog they can't explain. Sudden confusion, disorientation, or personality shifts aren't quirks of a bad day. They're blaring alarms. They could signal a stroke, cutting off blood to parts of your brain and scrambling your thoughts. It might be a brain infection, like meningitis, or a neurological disease like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's picking up speed. Strokes are especially sneaky. They can cause brief episodes, called transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, where speech slurs, vision blurs, or confusion spikes, only to fade after a few minutes. People shrug these off as weird moments, but they're mini-strokes, previews of a bigger disaster looming. If you or someone you love seems off, forgetful, dazed, or not themselves, act fast. Don't assume it's just stress or age. Call for help. Time lost is brain lost. Severe and persistent abdominal. Pain finally, let's talk about your gut. We've all had stomach aches, too much pizza, a bad taco, whatever. But this is different. This is a deep, sharp, relentless pain that won't quit. Maybe your belly feels swollen or rock hard. Maybe it's tender to touch or paired with fever, vomiting, or dizziness. This isn't a wait-it-out situation. Severe abdominal pain can mean a ruptured aneurysm in your aorta, leaking blood into your abdomen. It could be a blocked intestine, twisting your guts into a life-threatening knot. It might even be advanced cancer, pressing on organs as it grows. Other possibilities? Appendicitis, pancreatitis, or gallbladder attacks. All emergencies that can kill if ignored. The danger here is how easy it is to downplay. You might think, it's just gas, or I'll feel better tomorrow. But if the pain's intense, persistent, or worsening, get to a doctor now. Surgery might be your only shot, and every hour counts. Final thoughts. Listen to your body. Before it's too late, you've made it to the end, and here's the takeaway. Your body's smarter than you think. It's wired to warn you before the worst happens. Extreme fatigue, chest pain, breathlessness, weight loss, confusion, abdominal agony, these aren't annoyances to ignore. They're SOS signals. The deadliest mistake? Assuming they'll vanish on their own. They might, or they might be your last chance to act. So here's my plea. If something feels wrong, don't wait. See a doctor. And tell me, have you ever ignored a warning sign? What happened? Share your story below. It might save someone else. If this hit home, like, subscribe and share it. You could be the reason someone's still here tomorrow.